Hey, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. Great town, home of FedEx, Graceland, and the Grizzlies, who, as you might recall, used to play basketball in Vancouver back in the day. But I always love coming to Tennessee. I was just in Nashville earlier today and talking about client acquisition, business development. But what's interesting is yesterday, I was speaking with Brian Gallery, who is part of the practice management team at First Trust Portfolios. And Brian's really cracked the code in terms of how to have a breakthrough in client acquisition through introductions from strategic partners. And that approach lines up beautifully with our philosophy of stewardship over salesmanship. Because client acquisition through introductions from clients is obviously the lowest friction form of business development, but it's typical that the quality of introduction from a strategic partner can be higher because it's a professional introduction qualified at a very high level. But there's so few advisors who have cracked this code, and a lot of that, and Brian will tell you, comes from the mindset. They approach it with salesmanship as in this reciprocal rainmaking opportunity. And remember, advocacy stems not from pitching, but positioning. You can't pitch the idea of a referral as a favor you're asking of someone. It has to be positioned as a service you're providing for someone. An advocate has to feel they're doing the other person a disservice by not making the introduction. So an accountant or an attorney or any other service provider has to really feel that way, that they're introducing a client to elevate their experience as they head over to you. And the service provider needs to know exactly how your value is going to reflect back on them. Unless and until they do, they're not going to make that introduction. But the first step is obviously start with your clients. So when you onboard a new client, tell them that part of your process is to reach out to their other service providers to ensure that they are aware of the path you're on, and so they can be completely made aware of your process. Okay, with existing clients, you can reframe relationships and tell them that you're elevating the client experience, and part of the process is to meet with their other service providers. When you reach out to these other service providers, again, you're not pitching, you're positioning. You're saying, hey, we have a mutual client. Part of my process is to engage other service providers, so we're all simpatico and in sync. And I'm wondering if you have 15 minutes to just meet so I can walk you through our process. If they opt in and agree to that, then obviously that's quite revealing and telling. Again, you're not trying to create strategic partners, you're trying to find them to see if there's a good fit and alignment of interest. You can generally, instinctively determine that in 15 minutes. Now, arrive with an agenda, show them your process, let them understand your professional contrast, your value proposition. Let them start to realize that you are referable, that they are comfortable introducing a client to you. And then you can just ask probing questions. Now, Brian does an impeccable job with this. So if you want to go deeper into this, then talk to your First Trust wholesaler. But when you're talking to another service provider, just ask them, is part of your process to introduce your clients to other service providers to elevate the client experience? Obviously, if they say no, then you're not going to disrupt that habit. And you've done no harm, but there's probably no further relationship beyond that. If they say yes, then there's a flicker of hope and there's some intent. To bridge from intent to consent, you can ask a follow-up question and just simply say, who do you typically engage as part of your client experience by introducing your clients to other providers? If they list one name, then again, you're probably not going to change that pattern. But if they start listing off many names, then your ability to position yourself as an alternative increases. So remember, positioning, not pitching. Advocacy is client-centered, and it's all process-driven to achieve that professional contrast. We've got a module in Pareto Academy on engaging strategic partners called Two-Way Street. And if you have a relationship with First Trust, then make sure you have a chance to either hear Brian Gallery speak or to engage him to go deep to unlock the next level of productivity in your business through professional introductions. Okay, so thanks for watching. This is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Until next time, make it a great day.